Hello and welcome back once again to our False Samurai co-op. With me is Mizuma.
Hello viewers, how are you? Look here, we've got battle.
Yeah, you just cut out there. You said a little bit of battle.
Oh, we got a battle that we're going into here? I don't know.
Yeah,
Audio
no,
on my
good.
end, hopefully in the rendering it's okay.
It's fine. It's fine. As long as you remember to actually, use the audio file and not lose them.
Yeah, hey, people do that. I lost 3 video files.
Oh
not
yeah, that was
the episode 7 nonsense. So let's not talk about that. There's one guy who's like, it's so awesome. He's commented 2 videos in a row. Like, Drunk Mizoom was actually fun.
I like how that's just like it's just a phenomenon on the channel now. The drunken episode.
Exactly.
Everyone knows what you're referring to.
Exactly. Well, hey, spice it up a little.
Right. Anyway, let's see where the enemy comes from and see if their wooden cannons are even going to be in range. Are they in the same place before? They're not. They're over there
where are
now.
their wooden cannons?
All the way over here. Oh fuck! They're firing. Oh, they're firing at the archery tower in that case. There's no way they're reaching anything. No, yeah. They're not going to be able to hit anything else from there, though. Well, there goes the archery tower.
The archery tower.
Yeah, see, they're useful at that, but
hey,
I mean,
they are. Look, you should have 4 units in your 20-unit army just to destroy archery towers, and then not do anything else for the rest of the battle.
They saved like 6 men by killing that archery tower, and now they're not going to be able to capture it themselves, which means that it's not going to kill any of my men. But hey, what the?
No, it's all about relative use. It's like, so you locked up 4 out of 20 army spot, which I would put in some carbine cav or Armstrong guns or, U.S. Marines with Republican Guard infantry. That's always a fun army late game. Oh, that's another thing late game. So if you can get like your 6 Republican Guards with your 3 foreign Marine units, basically, because my armies are 6-9-4 in terms of artillery, infantry, and then cavalry. That 9 is perfect because I get my 6 Republican Guards with the 3 foreign Marines, so I've got basically an entire beefed up infantry army. So that's fun too when you can build that, and you build it with your gunsmith. So it's got the buff. I think your Republican Guard units will go out with like 103 accuracy if you do everything right with the buffs.
Yeah.
So like again, fun stuff.
It's pretty good.
Any predictions for Game of Thrones season 8 you want to share with the viewers?
Honestly, I haven't really thought about it that much. I'm assuming they're all going to win, and then Jon's going to be king.
Will he?
I don't know. I mean, he technically is the rightful heir, right?
That is true. He's banging his aunt.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Well, his aunt's pretty fucking hot.
I mean, let's be honest.
This scenario.
I'd fuck my aunt too if that was my situation.
Exactly. There's a funny. I don't know if you ever saw the movie 40-Year-Old Virgin, but there's a funny.
I have, with Steve Carell.
If my grandmother looked like that, I'd fuck my grandmother.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Did she send you? So this is a phenomenon in the States too. Like, you have your grandmother. She's used to writing checks because that's what people have done for hundreds of years. But like, grandmas are grandmas. So yeah, like I remember like on my birthday, I get like a $25 check from my grandmother. like grandma, just give me the cash or write a bigger check. But like, yeah, like I get these like $25 checks from my grandmother.
Ungrateful shit. Write bigger checks.
Either one, either just give me the cash or write bigger checks. So the fun thing that I didn't mention last time, and we'll get into this, I guess, why the hell not. So long story short, Donkey needed to buy something in America and ship it to America because Amazon was being weird. So my niece has been bugging me for a mermaid fin. Niece, not me, and not Donkey. Although we were going to go with that joke that it was for Donkey.
Yeah, you actually, I never got to explain the whole situation, so people probably think that I did order that for myself.
Exactly.
No, okay, the backstory is basically I helped. I got a contact on my Patreon, and they wanted to do a Q&A kind of thing for an hour with me. And as a reward, I would get a $100 gift certificate for Amazon. But I didn't realize at the time. Well, I mean, I did realize, but I didn't think it was that bad. Shipping costs to the Netherlands from Amazon America are just ridiculous. If you buy something for $30, you pay $20 shipping. Basically, it's not worth it. So so I was like thinking about who could I contact, and obviously I'd been in contact with Mizumi for quite a while, and he was American. So it's like, well, would you have anything that you want to buy from Amazon, and then I'll just give you I'll give it to you basically, and then you just send me some money on Patreon or whatever, or PayPal. And so anyway, yeah, he said, yeah, my niece wants this mermaid thing, and I guess you can take the story from there.
Yeah, so she wants this mermaid fin. You know, we had some issue going back and forth about which one, and so, you know, we finally get this mermaid fin, and, you know, now she's got it, and she's done an unboxing video of this. She has her own YouTube channel. I'm not sure whether or not I want to share that.
No, I was just gonna say I probably wouldn't.
Yeah. So she's got her own YouTube channel, but she did that, and whatever. And so yeah, so now we've ordered a mermaid fin together. So I feel like that's something.
Yeah, we got that connection going. So
exactly. Yeah, we're mer fans, as it were. It goes along with the brony My Little Pony crap. But anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, that happened. But that was the whole mermaid, the whole mermaid story. It was
the whole mermaid back joke, yeah.
Right. Okay, we're at this situation again where we have to go out and kill the people in the field, or at least make them rout. I still really like to capture those things, to be honest. But
so those are the guys trying to run through your guys to get out because they're broken, right?
Yeah. I'm just gonna block the way, basically.
You're just gonna slaughter them, yeah. I forget. Were you the attacker? You weren't the attacker in this one.
No, I'm defending.
No, they attacked you.
Yeah.
It is kind of a weird game mechanic that you have to go out and kill the wooden cannons that are sitting there.
I mean, again, I could wait until the timer runs out at 50 minutes from now.
Timer, yeah.
But at 50 minutes, you want to sit here? I don't know. I mean, triple speed, 15 minutes.
I don't know. Maybe the viewers enjoy our banter so much we could just sit here like episode.
Probably true.
And you could be like, hey, special super long episode. Except it's not like a super long episode of stuff happening. It's just you were too lazy to triple time it. So we're just sitting here like literally running out the clock.
You guys excited for the hour-long special?
Exactly. Yeah, it's just an hour-long special of you watching the clock run down on a battle. No cav units, huh?
Well, I got the general, but I'm not really willing to send him over. There's a whole bunch of horses standing outside. If only we could grab those and ride them.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
That's not a thing. But
there's a weird little mechanic happening here as your line folks ran by the general. The horses were jumping around. You can only see that on my channel.
Yeah, I missed that.
My camera there. Exactly.
I'm gonna have to go to your channel to watch this in 6 years when you finally upload it.
In 6 years when I upload it, yeah.
I've still got men in the Levy infantry unit. They're still reloading their gun. Are they fucking jammed or something? What is going on here? There's a whole bunch of them. The unit that's
the
88 of them.
90.
They're still reloading their fucking. They're jamming their rod into the.
Yeah, I see a bunch of them doing that. Yeah,
maybe they're practicing something else. But yeah, what are you doing?
Exactly. Giving some HJs there.
Right, well, I'm just going outside and then I'll start moving up to them. I'll probably take some damage doing this, but thus is the way.
We keep harping on the efficacy of the wooden cannons.
Yeah, they're so good. Although, to be fair, in this battle, the AI is just being silly because they can move up their parrot guns, but they're deciding not to. They're choosing not to.
Oh, they definitely, yeah, the parrot guns for sure. And the parrot guns will do not nice things to you.
Ah, fuck me, I just realized something. I should have gone out this way. I'm gonna go back. I should have gone out this way through the forest, and then I'll be very close to them out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So I'll send a couple units around. Oh, fuck me, you're taking. What path are you taking? What is that? Alright, fuck it. I'll just send one unit over there. The one that's already tired. I'll start moving up for now. If only you could. I don't know. It's just it's a weird situation. The triple. I wish you could triple speed it, and then have your men run. Like, this is one of those weird things where you want to have your men run, but you don't want them to get tired. But if you don't run them, oh shit, we're being fucking blasted. Holy shit. Get over here. Like, I wanna just run my men because I want to get this over with quicker because there's no threat of being killed or anything. Like, why wasn't there an option to fucking literally skip forward in time 5 minutes? But
yeah, exactly. Or why isn't the algorithm to, you have 4 static units of ranged, 4 static units that are ranged. They're not going to beat and even the balance bar right now says that it's close to even. It's like, it's just not. Like,
they got a pretty good chance of winning this one.
Algorithm is wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say earlier too, like the whole if you're sitting there and you get 20 units to deploy an army, and 4 of them are units that fire 6 rounds each and then stop. Right? You could have had 4 units, and when you get all the buffs from agents and other things and your general's abilities, all the perks and whatnot, the increased ammunition buff and all that other stuff, you can have Armstrong guns firing away for this entire time. You've said it, and I did it yesterday, by the way. I've won a castle siege with 6 units of Armstrong guns firing away, and they literally kill everything, and the battle's over.
Yeah.
So, not an auto-resolve. I've fought a battle, including a full 20-stack army, with 6 Armstrong guns in a castle siege, and just used the 6 Armstrong guns and won the battle. 0 casualties. I mean, I have the liberty of taking my time and doing that in an off-screen play campaign, but again, it's not that they aren't good in a one-off exception of a situation. It's that, think about the relative value of deploying 20 units, and you've got 4 units here that are doing fuck all.
Yeah. It's, in essence, this parrot guys really fucked me up, and then they decided to stop firing or something. I don't know what's going on. This time they're not routing when I'm getting somewhat near them. My units actually are thinking about doing so.
Well, you are running them straight at an artillery unit. I can understand why actual human beings will be like, yeah, fuck this shit, dude.
What are you making me do?
Yeah, fuck this crap. If there are any Dutch viewers, I know last episode I had invented some idioms for you. Let us know if there are any fun idioms in Dutch that don't really translate.
Oh, I mean, I know some. There's Nu komt de aap uit de mouw, which is like, if you translating it is like, now comes the monkey out of the sleeve. Which makes no sense to you, but it means like, oh, now we understand. Now we know what's happening, or now we know what you were just like.
Now the monkey's out of the sleeve, obviously.
Yeah,
kind of said like that.
I got a wooden cannon out of that. Is it worth keeping? Probably in this case, I'll say yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're starved for units sitting in the defense, I mean,
yeah. And hey, they can arc over the walls, whereas other cannons can't. So
yeah. The wooden cannon,
there's the rebels. They've almost reached.
It's so shitty that it doesn't have a good velocity out of the barrel, so it actually takes more advantage of the parabolic arc. So, reasons, it's like, let's see if we can do this. This will be a fun little thing. Can we get both Saga territories in revolt at the same time? No, because you suck,
dickhead,
asshole. All right, next turn they take it. Next turn we swoop in. Oh man, look, you can almost say this was perfectly planned, because that guy's gonna get there next turn. Meanwhile, Tanegashima just sitting here doing nothing. Thank you, folks.
I like, by the way, that the wooden cannons that we were attacking were all like low on crew. They were almost dead and all that. And then we get the wooden cannons, and out of nowhere we find 40 men and know how to operate these things. It's kind of
just
impressive.
sit around.
Yeah, we just have some artillery crew.
They watched the YouTube video on how to operate wooden cannons.
I know how to use this thing.
Doing a quick port check. Hyuga. Can I upgrade yet to a trading port? What technology do I need? This is where I'm obviously behind you. Requires the art of cordial relations. Okay, fuckers. Oh, yeah. So I switched from cordial relations into artillery because for me, I got to get to artillery quicker because a little head of a donkey there. I don't want to call this Mazuma teaches donkey, but let's just remember that I said that.
What is cordial relations even? Have I got that?
It's the silly thing with the ship in the second tier left side.
Second tier. Oh, there one. Oh, yeah, I've went past that. I've got foreign affairs.
Yeah, enables trading. Oh, you have below it foreign affairs.
Yeah. Oh wow, that was the quickest turn ever. Ooh, the United States sending out a military mission. All right, +5 accuracy to artillery units. It is the better one when it comes to buffing. The other one, I believe, doesn't do shit, or something for ships. I think accuracy for ship units. Like fuck
off.
The
British and they love their ships. Yeah.
Yeah. They do have the...
Now the monkey's out of the sleeve.
There's loads of idioms, actually. I'll try and think of more. Fuck. I don't know. Because the British one, the British unit's better. The French one's the best, but we don't get that one, so there's no...
The French Marine unit, yeah, that's
right. The American one is the worst. The American ship, I think, is the medium one. Like the second best one. But it's the accuracy of artillery units which is better than the British upgrade. I did go for British in the Choshu campaign, actually. I seem to recall.
Nice.
Because they got the second best unit and the best...
best ship, I think.
Best ship unit, and then the second best infantry unit. Who are you going to go for?
Me?
Are you going to go
in
American? Or British?
I don't know. I generally go because they have the better artillery, because the ships in this campaign are kind of nonsense. I auto resolve most battles and don't give a fuck if I lose them. So whatever. Go. You pick whatever you want, and I'll just do the other. I'm fine with it.
What a recognizable strategy. You know what? I'll let you go. I'll let you go Americana because you like your cannons more than I do.
USA,
well, I love them too.
USA.
Yeah, you are Americano, so that makes sense.
Hey, El Clasico. I don't know if you watched that yesterday.
Well, Barcelona versus Real Madrid?
Yeah. That was yesterday.
I did not
Round
know.
2.
Round 2.
Copa del Rey.
Fight it.
No miras el fútbol español, señor?
No.
Okay.
No, I do watch football. I'm assuming that's what you asked me.
Yeah, but no, Spanish football.
Oh, specifically. No, not specifically Spanish, no. I watch British, but
other countries Donkey hates, Spain is on that list, apparently.
Confirmed.
Exactly. Actually, countries he hates in the theoretical sense, but has actually met a bunch of very lovely Spanish folks. I honestly think that, I think human beings in some sense are a little bit, just in general, or, as societies, we tend to be suspicious and or not necessarily 100% welcoming to non your own kind of society. So I think that I'm pretty sure like almost every country in the world, someone's like, it's really weird. Like, I hate Russians, but I've met some really lovely Russian folks. So I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
No, the thing is,
finger on
the opposite. The opposite is true for me, unfortunately. Like, with Australia, like I met like kind of a bunch of putzes who happen to be Australian, but I do not hold that against Australia, the country. But yeah, I've met some putzes who happen to be Australian. So I'm sorry for that. I don't hold it against Australia, the country. But yeah, just annoying folks. And this one girl who was just completely fantastical about the way the world actually regarded her importance therein. So I think that she was just a crackpot, not that Australian women are crackpots.
Right.
But anyway,
it's fair enough.
What is
So I was gonna.
Wait,
I was my retainer. I was gonna say real quick. I've got a solid choice here. We got either.
Oh boy, is it opera?
No, it's from my general, so he doesn't get opera classes. I think. It's only for
Telescope.
agents.
Does he get
No,
telescope? No.
it's +1 to the charge bonus of this man's bodyguard, not for all units. That's fantastic.
Just his
bodyguard, yeah. And he's a fucking revolver cav as well now, essentially, 24 men, so fucking useless.
You're gonna be charging a lot with the revolver cav.
Yeah. Now the other one's actually okay. It's just it's a +1 to morale of all units, which is fairly good. It's more that this is the name of this one is Foxy Mistress.
Mistress.
Yeah, I thought that was worth mentioning.
Morale is up because the general's got a foxy mistress.
Exactly, yeah. I don't know how that really implies, but there you go. That's how it works. Anyway, you were recruited for a single purpose.
It's a shame that Devin doesn't do more Shogun. He went down like the Total War, the Warhammer, the War thing for all his narrated Let's Plays.
Yeah. Yeah.
He does a lot of stuff, though. I mean, his post-production must be huge.
Yeah, for sure. He does a lot of editing.
I told you I did a guest spot as one of the...
I did too at some point.
Generals. Oh, did you? Cool, nice.
In I think it was an Empire. I actually fucked something up. I was supposed to do a Dutch reading, and I translated all of it, except for some reason I thought at the time, I don't know why I didn't think this through. The word port in Dutch was also port, but it's not. It's have. But for some reason I just left it at port as port. So I did the whole thing and I said port instead of the Dutch actual word. Yeah, have.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
look at Mr. bragging about I know 2 languages semi-fluently.
Fuck off. My English is better than my Dutch at this point, I think. Anyway.
No, in meeting every Dutch person I've ever met, because I've only been to Amsterdam once, so most of the Dutch people I've met have been outside of the Netherlands, and of course, yeah, for practical purposes, most people outside the Netherlands are going to speak English.
None of them. They're all they're so resilient. They only want to speak Dutch. Like, fuck off. I'm Dutch. I will not talk your language.
They go abroad. They're like, nope, Dutch only.
Actually, that is basically Germans. Germans come to whatever country they go to, and they refuse.
I live in New York City, man. Oh my God, you're so right. Sometimes.
Yeah, there's still Germans there who speak German, like to you or to English talking people in general.
No, but it's like they're showing you. It's like they put on a thicker accent just to show you, like, hey, by the way, I'm going out of my way, to speak English. But look, you can see I'm German, and in that too, it's like, silly American. I speak good English, but I'm going to use this thick accent from some 1940s war film on you. But yeah. Now, well, also I'll get into it a little bit. I have a lot of friends who work in the service industry, so bar, hospitality, hotels, restaurants. And what are you doing, Saga? That's one freaking unit. Are you a dumbass? Oh, and you didn't? Oh, wow, this is going to be epic. Watch what happens. But anyway, so Europeans, as a general rule, forget that American-based economies are gratuity-based economies, i.e., there's an incentive for your server to provide you individually good service because they get, in theory, a bigger tip. It's not we're going to pay the barman in England a larger salary, and then that's why he literally doesn't care whether or not you tip him, and is, in fact, in some ways irritated when you tip him because it's like, oh, I'm going to give you special service for the extra £1 tip you just left me, that kind of stuff. So it's just an American cultural thing. And, look at this, my plan worked out so well.
It only took 6 extra turns.
Yeah, whatever, dude. That's not the point. So
I have an opinion on tipping though. When you're done with your story,
no. Look, and I get the whole. If you have one system, you're comfortable with it and you understand it. If we have a different system, we're comfortable and we understand it. The point is, as a tourist going into that, it's like it's not now your role to be some sort of like crusader for the European service method in New York City.
No, that's
you're
true.
visiting New York City, and we've got this system set up. And when you don't tip, like some Europeans are keen on doing, you're not sending a message of like, this is our system is better. You're literally screwing over the guy who's trying to make some sort of money there and is like just in the front lines of this battle where you're like, no, I'm just not going to tip him.
No, see, the thing is, the problem I have,
Germans do this.
The problem I have with tipping in America, it's not necessarily the tipping. It's the fact that the system, in essence, is flawed because you have a minimum wage, but then waitresses and waiters get paid less than minimum wage. What's the point of minimum wage if it's not the actual minimum? If there's still a possibility of getting paid less, that's what I don't understand. Because
it goes right to the variable piece of servers and barmen, is that you're expected, and it's known that you will make in some instances in the fancy restaurants, these guys are making $1,000 in 5 hours for a lunch shift. Okay, so they're making $250 an hour. The point being, like, you have to get paid something for showing up, and there's an exception in all of this to kind of independent contractors and service-related industries. So when I was a caddy. I used to carry golf clubs around in the summers. The theory there was, back in the good old days, it was all cash. But I would get, as a 14-year-old kid, I'd get $50 for 4 hours work. And, guys, this is going to tell you how much older I am, but that was a good amount back then, okay? So, the point being, like, if they gave you $2 or $3, $4 or whatever it is nowadays, they might pay you like $5 an hour just for shift pay. Let me put it this way: the government knows you're making more than that because they will assess you taxes based upon a hell of a lot of different rules. So I get you with the whole, like, why, like, America, similar to the non-feudalistic state we created, has a shit ton of laws and then a shit ton of exceptions to those laws. So I get it. It's just not consistent. And people do like consistency, and I get that part of it. As a guy who likes consistency, and is kind of what I do for work, I appreciate consistency. And it's just not consistent. No, there is a method to the madness, though. My only defense of all of this is that there's a method to the madness. I'm not saying it's perfect. There is a theory, though.
I understand the system of, because as far as I understand it, food in general in restaurants in America is like fairly cheap, right? Like the actual
cheap, and there's more of it. Ergo, to respond to someone's comment, yes, Americans on average might be
obese. Yeah, no, I didn't even want to get into that because I'm quite obese. Well, not obese, but I'm definitely heavy.
You're a husky man.
Since I got a girlfriend, I gained 20 kilos, about 45 pounds.
Your food?
No, but it's just the fact that I was on a diet for a while, and I was actually I was like 98 kilos, which is still heavy, but I was pretty good with that. But then I got a girlfriend, and you want to go out to dinner, and you want to do this, you want to go have snacks, and it's
like, let's be honest. You were like, look, I'm gonna look good to catch the girlfriend.
That is generally the thing. The thought is actually.
But anyway,
I do want to lose more weight again because I feel like I'm unhealthy at the moment. But anyway, that's not the point. So you get food for cheap, so you tip more. Like, I get that system. I don't mind that system necessarily. I just think the whole,
as long as you understand the differences.
Yeah,
you can say which one you like better, but you understand it.
It's just the minimum wage thing just throws me off. It's like, why the hell do you have a minimum wage, but it doesn't apply to waiters? It's
a minimum wage except for service industry. Yeah,
it's it's just weird to me. But that's like you said, different systems.
It just is a different system. But that being said, now, when you're a tourist, and I've seen the German guidebooks that mention tipping differences in New York City in particular, because I read, or not anymore, but when I was a younger traveler, maybe in college and whatnot, I'd read the guidebook about, hey, in Spain, there's a line called, servicio or whatever, and it'll tell you whether or not it's included. And if it's included, do not tip on top of that unless these guys went out of their way to do stuff for you, because it's just like, they're like, well, we've already included service at 15%. You've given us another 5%. Like, whoopity doo. We've already calculated service at 17.8 or 20%. So, but you go visit someone's country, just do what they do.
Yeah,
you're visiting. Come on.
You feel really strongly about this, don't you?
Well, it's just because. So I'm standing at a bar, and my friend is bar, and let's say the guy, the European gentleman, non-country specific, goes up and orders a round, and that round is $18 US. I see them pull out the 20. I see them have like a $5 bill next to it, and really on kind of an $18 tab in New York City, if it's 3 drinks, you should leave $3. 1/6 of the bill, maybe. If you're kind of a local New Yorker and it's your local bar, and it's the first round. Maybe you give them 7, make it 25. Bartender remembers you or already knows you. You set the tone for the evening. So this is the whole thing about a capitalist service-based variable compensation economy. It's like you tip the bartender well in the first round. He remembers you. He's going to give you a taller pour, or he's going to give you faster service, both. Or there's also a thing in America called a buyback. So the fourth round, if you've been tipping well, typically the bartender will say, that round's on me. So you're also investing in the future, which as a drinking society, people should appreciate. You're investing in the future. But anyway, so I see this European will have a $20 bill and a $5 bill next to it. The round was $18. And he hands the barman 20. The barman, in this specific example, happened to be a friend of mine. The barman looks at me, kind of shakes his head, makes the change for $2, hands it back to the European guy. The European guy does the stutter step of moving his hand forward slightly and then just puts the $2 right in his. It's like you've now tipped 0. So you've gone beyond the tipping badly, like at least just like, hey, 10% or $1 a drink, whatever. No, you've now tipped 0. And the rationale being, oh, well, drinks are already more expensive. It's like, technically, $6 for a beer in New York City? I don't know. What's a beer in Amsterdam? €5? €4? I mean, it's not drastically different.
My opinion on this would be, I don't really know, because I honestly don't really go out anymore. I used to go out as a kid, but like I don't even know, because that's the whole thing. I never go out now because drinks are stupidly expensive. I don't want to pay fucking €6, because it probably is around that much actually for, I don't know, a Bacardi Cola or something.
Right.
When I can have one at home for 50 cents or whatever, if you combine it's just
the economics of drinking at home notwithstanding. Let's say, Donkey, for some reason, you decide to visit London or New York City, some big city, and maybe you're there with your girlfriend, and you're having a fun time, and she's like, hey, let's go have a drink after dinner. We're in a foreign city. Let's be tourists. Let's do something fun. And you're like, fine. It's like, accept it. You're in a foreign thing. You're out of your normal routine. Just go with it and be like, look, this is just part of the cost of being a tourist somewhere and having a fun night out. Just
right. Well, okay. So
I'll
take your scenario then. If I had because this is
you've already flown to New York because you're in New York City.
Yeah. No. Okay. So I'll take your scenario of the guy. The bill was $18 and he had 20 and a $5. If that was me, and not being fully knowledgeable of the tipping and stuff, and indeed thinking that drinks are expensive, I would actually. And I know you wouldn't agree with this, but I would give the 20. I would leave the $2, obviously, but I wouldn't give an extra 5 or even an extra $1.
But the thing is, you're just like, hey, I heard they tip in America. I don't know what the numbers are? Here's 20, so I've given you $2. And it's like, because I'm pretty
what I remember from going out when I was younger, tipping bartenders, I'm not even sure if that's a thing here. Honestly,
no, it probably isn't. Honestly, it probably isn't,
because that's like tipping a waiter or waitress or whatever. That makes some sense to me. I still think, honestly, I always tip because I always feel like if I don't, people are gonna look at me like, oh, the cheapskate. But I honestly don't. Even here, I don't agree with tipping. I think it's ridiculous.
Dutchman didn't tip, huh?
But because my girlfriend hates it too if I tip. Even like when we go out to a restaurant and I don't know a sushi bar and the bill was, I don't know, €70 for the two of us, I want to leave, or let's say it's 68, I want to leave an extra 2, but she really doesn't want me to do that. She thinks tipping is the most ridiculous thing in the world, and I'm tempted to agree.
In the Philippines, I don't know, whatever.
I don't know, but the thing is, she's from a fucking island like where the population's free men, so. Okay. No, but it's such a weird thing because I agree with her. I think tipping's ridiculous, but I also don't want people to think I'm a cheapskate. So it's just one of those weird things. But again, like I said, I'm not even sure if tipping here is a thing. I think it is for like if you have 50 cents or something. Say the bill's $19.50.
Just round up.
You put the 50. I think they've got a tip jar as well. Like you don't actually say to the bartender keep the 2 or whatever. You just put in it. Like if they get some change back, you just throw it in the tip jar. I think that's more it. But if people from the Netherlands want to let me know if I'm completely wrong, if tipping's changed or whatever, then go for it. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I went out. But fuck me, how long have we been on this term, by the way? Because talking about tipping. But yeah, it's just a weird thing. Like that's one of the massive differences between Europe and America is the whole tipping, how it works. It's just there's it's a completely different world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Uh,
But okay, I was gonna say because there was I used to go on this website called what was it fucking called again? It was not 4chan, but like one of those other ones. Anyway, and on that there was it was a post or something like a meme about tipping, and I left a comment. This was, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. I left a comment about how I thought tipping was ridiculous. This was before I realized how America worked with like they have minimum wage or like less than minimum wage, etc., etc. And this thing blew up. I got thousands of likes, thousands of dislikes. There was hundreds and hundreds of comments of people calling me the scum of the earth. I was the worst person on the world because I thought tipping was ridiculous. These people need to make a living, blah, blah, blah. All Americans, of course. Until one or two people explained to me that they make less than minimum wage. And I'm like, okay, I understand. But
part of the economic system, yeah.
yeah, as a non-American, how am I supposed to know that you don't live by the fucking rules of minimum wage? I don't. How am I supposed to know that if someone doesn't tell me? But people were going crazy.
I think there too, people should be like, this guy's European. He may not completely understand the nuances of the American system. Like, instead, people are just like, you suck.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's just the internet in a nutshell, though. People just, if they don't agree with you, they call you whatever the fuck they want to call you. I remember,
exactly.
I remember going back to that post weeks after I made it because people were still commenting, and some people were making actual points, and other people were just calling me scum. But oh man, that was ridiculous, and I was invested in that fucking post as well. I was like, this is so weird to me. Like, why can people be so incredibly defensive about it? And because my point that I initially made, I think, was like, I was comparing tipping to, you know, why don't other jobs get tipped? Like, if I take a British mission, I'll take that one then. Okay. If I get an airplane and I fly somewhere, and I don't afterwards go up to the pilot and say, "Here's a $5 for you, well done." Like, it doesn't make any sense, you know. But or even the crew on the ship who are giving me food and drinks and stuff, I don't tip them either because it's not. But the thing is, and if I go to the doctor and he treats me well, I'm not gonna say, you know, here's an extra before I don't spend it all in one place. It doesn't make any sense. But he's still servicing me in some degree.
You should start that trend. Like, you go to the doctor, it's like, it's like, you're looking good, donkey. You know, everything's, hey, you've taken down 5 kilograms. You're on your way. You're like, here's a $5. You're still around later.
Exactly. But that was my point, and that was not well appreciated by the Americans, who, of course, some of them explained to me how it works, and I was like, okay, I understand.
Finally, someone was like, oh, by the way, this is why they're flaming you.
Yeah.
This is the answer. Yeah, I know.
But there were so many Europeans who also agreed with me and thought it was ridiculous too. But again, it's just it's just so different.
It's just a different system, guys. And like, people inside the system are going to have one view of it and they're used to it. People outside the system are going to have a new perspective or a different perspective.
It's like
not used to it.
I mean, it's the same as what do you call it? Well, Fahrenheit and Celsius and the metric system and Imperial system. The
Imperial system, yeah.
I mean, to us, it just makes fucking no sense to use the Imperial system. Like, all the metric system works with, like, tens and hundreds. Like, you know, 100 centimeters a meter, 100 meters is a hectometer, 1,000 meters is a kilometer. You know, it makes sense. And then you got the Imperial system. 12 inches is 1 foot. Yeah. Fucking several foot and a half is 1 fucking yard. It's like, this doesn't make any sense.
3 feet exactly is a yard.
Okay, so it is free, but even then, free, like, you know, how are you going to do the math? Is just gonna...
Why 3? Yeah, exactly.
And then how many yards is one? What's the next one? Fucking.
So a mile is 5,000.
Oh yeah, a mile. Yeah, and a mile is 1.6 kilometers. But you know, that doesn't even
5,280 feet.
It's just, you know, it's weird to us. But then you guys are when you're used to it, I'm sure it's fine. But you still have to see from an objective standpoint
either way, it doesn't matter which one, as long as you're used to it, you're comfortable with it. The thing being, like, yeah, under the Napoleonic system, they were like, by the way, we've got imperial systems that don't line up, we've got feet that don't necessarily line up, let's just universalize this and make it something based upon tens. Like, in the same way that I've heard from Europeans, like, in New York City, in Manhattan, where do you think 45th Street is relative to 44th Street? Big surprise, they're next to each other. Like, no, we don't have names for the 225 streets that go east-west on the island of Manhattan. We don't have 225 names. It's pretty well. There's the lower, older part of the city where there are named streets, but for the most part, it's a grid pattern. The avenues go north-south and they're numbered. The streets go east-west and they're numbered. So if you're on 45th Street and 2nd Avenue, and I tell you meet me at 46th Street and 3rd Avenue, you kind of get it. Like, I'm probably pretty close. But like, I've had Europeans be like, it's unimaginative. It's fundamentally mathematical. It's boring. I'm like,
I actually
it's just so straightforward and easy.
I think the system is good. Yeah, I never really understood it, but now you just talked about it for 2 minutes. I kind of like I understand it now, and it's pretty straightforward and simple.
It's unoriginal. Fine, it's unoriginal, but it's
it works.
really, really easy.
In a city like New York, you kind of need some kind of system to it.
Well, this is like the city of London. You ever drive around this? All right, if you've ever been to the city of London, they had, literally before the digital age, they had a book called London A to Z for the English out there, A to Z for Americans. But they had a book that literally was a map of the entirety of London that was indexed in the back. And if I said to you, we're going to meet you at Houghton Street, you'd have to go look up where is Houghton Street in the index, flip back to the page that it was on, and then you could see a local map of that area containing Houghton Street. That's how confusing it is when you just have street names.
On that subject,
they don't run evenly.
Did you know that London taxi drivers, I'm not sure if this is still true or not, but I think it is. London taxi drivers have to do a test where they show that they know every single street in London from the top of their head to be able to become a taxi driver.
That was the big thing, was that you had to know all of these random streets because there's no logic to it. There's no rhyme or reason. Some streets are one way. Some streets are, curved. Some streets are straight. Some streets run north-south. Some streets run east-west. And a shit ton of them just don't. So it made sense that London taxi drivers were actually like skilled and knowledgeable about their city because London is a mess from a civic planning perspective. Again, London was created by the Romans in the year, 300, maybe 100 AD. New York AD is colonized and purchased by the Dutch in 1624. So it's like there were 1600 years where people were like, let's think about how to lay out a city better. And it's kind of like the metric system. It's like, hey, we've thought about this, and this whole feet, yard, don't even get me started on like pints and ounces, fluid ounces versus dry ounces, what other precious weights, having the Troy ounce system. Like, someone was just like, screw it, let's just make this easy and based upon decimal units, and we're done. And that's what someone did. But that's because someone got to sit down and be like, this old way is confusing and annoying. There's got to be a better way to do it. And eventually people do that. Not to say kilometers, basing your temperature system on the boiling points and the freezing points of water, 0 and 100 Celsius. It's also arbitrary. So, one arbitrary system replaces another arbitrary system. That being said, one is easier mathematically and flows a lot more normally. You use, deci, centi, milli, micro, nano. On the one side, you use kind of deca, hecta, kilo, and then you use, mega, giga, tera, etc. On the other side, it's like, and then just substitute in grams, meters, whatever, and boom, you've got your system. So the problem is for people who don't travel a lot. I travel a lot, and I lived abroad, so I learned very quickly to go from Fahrenheit to Celsius because that's kind of the big one that's fucking important. It's like, is 10 centigrade warm or cold? Now, 10 centigrade's spring weather here in New York. Probably wear a jacket for most people, but it's not bad. If you're in Dubai and it's 40 centigrade, that's a lot different than 40 Fahrenheit. And do not wear a jacket because you will die. No, but stuff like that, you just learn to operate in both systems, and one is a lot easier for sure, for convention and for mathematics and for kind of consistency. One is a lot better, sure. Does it make it better because it's newer? Sometimes yes, sometimes no, but that's then opinion. It's not necessarily fact. But look, one's more logical. I give you that. One day the entire world will probably use metric just because, It's practical. Kind of like, why is English the business language? It's just practical. The English were a mercantile society. They got all over the world. The Dutch, in kind of also being all over the world, defaulted to using English. Other European countries defaulted to using English. Whatever it was, English became the default language.
Yeah.
Same way, metric system should get there. And if you're good enough to learn how to go back and forth between the two, you're going to be fine. We should really figure out how close we are to realm divide.
Well, I'm about to take that town, which has the blacksmith, at which point I will not be taking any more towns.
Okay.
I'll just be defending myself.
Well, I think what we got to do then is we got to wait for me to stupidly build a harbor so I can get the mission. Otherwise, you lock me out from getting the mission.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to trigger realm divide if you... I won't do it if you won't.
All right. Well, I think we'll do it when I take Nagasaki. That's going to be a while.
Sure. Yeah, just, I guess, have a look as well at your little, what do you call it?
I will. The stupid bar.
Yeah, the bar, yeah.
So today on
you did say we were going to have like an hour-long special, which was, I mean, was that last episode or this one where we were joking about an hour-long special of not actually doing anything, just waiting out a battle? But it ended up being pretty close to it.
But
anyway, we should definitely end it here.
You got Donkey and I arguing about the metric system, which is always fun, and tipping. Yep. So there's that.
Oh yeah, the tipping was that's good. Anyway, yeah,
I will hold off then on doing anything. So.
Yes. Because that was my plan as well, but then I realized 5 minutes ago maybe I should just do my turn and actually end it, so we have some progress made. But anyway, so that'll be that for now. You did say we were going to discuss tentacle porn, but we'll have to hold off until next time for that one.
Hey, so, well, this is what we're keeping our viewers. We're keeping our viewers tantalized,
keeping them on their toes.
Exactly.
Switch of any moment.
Yeah.
Anyway, until next time, have a good day and goodbye.
Thanks, guys.